Guys, that worked really quickly today. So yesterday I was waiting for ages and it wouldn't connect. So we've connected today. We're back to live session. So apologies for anyone that was waiting for the session yesterday and it didn't happen. I just couldn't connect to YouTube. There was I don't know what was going on. So today it's working. We are on session 26 and we're going to be looking at science today. And today's topic is going to be food chains. So for today's topic, you're going to need white paper, you're going to need some felt tips, you're going to need a pencil. So I've got that over here as well. Okay, so if you're watching for the first time, give me a shout out. If you're a regular, give me a shout out. Let me know that you guys are watching. So we're going to get started today. We're going to be looking at food chains. So it's a topic we haven't looked at yet, and there's going to be loads of drawing as well. So we're going to be doing that as well. So let's first of all share with you my desk so you can see what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so today is going to be a nice and quick session on food chains. We're going to briefly look at what the different names are for different animals in the food chain and which way the energy goes in the food chain. So I'm just going to share with you my desk. We're here. Right, so what we're going to do first of all is to draw. Eleanor's watching. Hiya, Toby and George say hi. Hi, guys. You've become regulars. It's brilliant. So first of all, we're going to draw a big circle. Now, I could have said you can get a circular object, but remember how I showed you how to draw a circle using your wrist. So use your wrist as a pivot point, hold your pencil nice and lightly, and then turn your page, and you should be able to get, it's gone off slightly, but it's fine. You should be able to get a circle. So you can tell I've had a bit of practice with this. It's kind of joining up as a circle. Okay, so I've briefly got a circle there. Now I'm going to go over that circle with a black felt tip. Now I've got a bit of it cut off there. It doesn't really matter. You don't need it to be a perfect circle. So I've done it as a circle because you get to see where the energy is going in the food chain. So normally food chains, you see them going one way, but at the end, when the animal at the end dies, it decomposes and the soil, it goes into the soil. The decomposition happens in the soil, and then you've got plantation growing again. You've got trees and plants, and then the chain starts again. So it is a circular chain. So we've got Aman and Hannah watching. Hi, guys. You've become regulars as well. It's brilliant. So we're going to have a look at the food chain today. So here, I'm going to write here, food chain, and I'm going to add energy flow because we're looking at which way the energy is flowing in our food chain. Okay, so we're going to start off with a producer, and a producer is anything that initially animals will eat. So normally herbivores, and the producer normally happens to be grass, trees, vegetation. So I'm going to start off with a producer. We're going to start off with grass over here. Okay, so this is our producer. So let me draw some grass. And I'm going to write here, producer. Where's my black felt pen? I had a really good one here a second ago. Here it is. I'm going to write producer. Okay, and this producer is, in this instance, this is grass. Then what we're going to do is to draw an arrow. So it's going to be a bit like our water cycle, but we're looking at animals. So you're going to have a go at drawing some animals. So we're going to have an arrow going this way. Now, the animal that eats the vegetation is a primary consumer. Okay, so we're going to write here primary consumer. So this food goes towards the primary consumer. So this energy, the sunlight is giving this energy, and then this is going to be eaten by the primary consumer. And in this particular case, we're going to look at the life cycle of a bird of prey. Okay, so we're going to start off with a grasshopper. Now, I'm going to be particularly bad at drawing this. So I'm going to have a look at a picture in front of me. of a grasshopper. So let me just type in grasshopper. So I've got a picture to draw, grasshopper. I don't think I'll be able to draw it otherwise. So we're going to draw. Ooh, this is going to be difficult to draw. How am I going to draw a grasshopper? Okay, so we're going to draw some sort of bug it's going to be eating. It's got legs coming off, big legs. It's got legs at the front. Something's wrong with its head. Its head's gone a bit weird. If you watched the movie, is it called the Bug's Life? It looks a bit like that, doesn't it? Now I'm going to color in that grasshopper. I need to draw some wings on that grasshopper as well and give it an eye. I'm going to draw an eye on there, and it's going to have some wings. They do have wings, don't they? Color those in a bit yellowy. Right, so there's my grasshopper. So that is my primary consumer. Okay, so you guys can draw your grasshoppers there. Now, next, what we're going to do, so this is eating the grass. So the energy is going in this direction. Okay, now the grasshopper gets eaten by a frog. So I'm going to draw another arrow. Color that in. And now this is your secondary consumer. So I'm going to write over here, secondary consumer. So I'm going to draw a frog. Now, again, I can't draw a frog without looking at one. So I'm going to put one up on my phone and then draw it here. So let's type in frog. And let's see. Oh, I've got a nice image of a frog there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a frog. We've got frog's eyes are big. We're going to have red eyes. We're going to have another eye over here. And then I'm going to draw the face of it. Ooh. It looks like a lizard. And then I'm going to draw its, oh, that's going to be hard, its feet. How am I going to draw that? That does not look like a frog. Does that look like a frog, guys? It looks more like a lizard of some sort. Okay, the legs make it look like a frog a bit. I need the back of the body. So that is my frog. So let's draw that in now. We've got Amayman, Samaya watching, Amina's watching, Amina 6 years old is watching. She likes watching your sessions. That's cool. Have you guys watched all the sessions? So this is going to be green as well. So shall I do this a different type of green? Let's color it in a light green. This is my frog. I'm going to color the ends of its fingers orange just because I want to. Looks cool. It looks like it's wearing nail varnish. Okay, so we've got our primary consumer is eating the grass, then our secondary consumer is eating the grasshopper. Right, I'm going to draw black lines. I'm going to give this a bit of a shadow there. Let's put black. Give it a bit of a shadow there. Right, so next what we're going to have is that this frog is going to be eaten by a snake. Okay, so our next one along the chain is going to be a snake. So we need to draw a snake. I like the lizard, he's cute. It's not a lizard, it's a frog. Okay, Ruby says, Sophia says, hi guys. Quite a few of you watching today. It's a shame that we didn't have the Venn diagram live, because that session I would have wanted you guys to give me some data, then it would have been really cool and interactive. Okay, so next what we've got now, so I'm going to color that arrow in. So we've got our primary, we've got our secondary. Our next animal is snake, and that's going to be a tertiary consumer. So tertiary consumers are usually the ones at the end, but we're going to have another one after this. Okay, so I'm going to move this around. I'm going to write here tertiary. Let's get this spelling right. T-E-R. I'm going to have to check the spelling. I have no idea how to spell that. Tertiary consumer. Tertiary. Let's have a look. Let's see. T-E-R-T-I-A. T-E-R-T-I-A. Is that an R-Y? Tertiary consumer. Ooh. Okay, next what I'm going to draw over here, so I'm going to draw it the right way around, is going to be a snake. Now, again, I have no idea how to draw a snake. You guys are going to draw really cool images. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And use images of Google to help you to draw them, because mine aren't that great. Let's have a look at a snake image. Okay, I don't like any of these. A cartoon snake image. Okay, I like this one. Right. Okay, let's have a go at drawing this. I'm going to draw some big eyes. It's going to have... Oh, it looks like a pig. This is going to look like a snake. I don't know yet. I'm trying to make it look cute, but it's looking sort of weird. Oh my, he looks like a monkey. What is this? Okay, it's looking like a snake because I've given it a long neck now. It's got a really thin neck. There we go. It's a snake. Okay, so this is my tertiary consumer. I'm going to color that in. Like nearly everything that I've drawn so far is green. But I'm going to do this 2 different colors. So I'm going to make this bit yellow, the underside of the snake yellow. So let's color this bit in yellow. Okay, so this is a tertiary consumer. So producer, primary consumer, the grasshopper eats that. Secondary consumer, this is the way that the energy is going in the system. Then you've got tertiary consumer, and then the snake is eating up the frogs over here. Let's color it in green. I think my snake morphed between a pig and a monkey. Now I think it kind of looks like a snake. I'm okay with that. I'm going to color that bit in yellow, its face in yellow. Okay, I'm quite happy with that one now. Right, next, let's see what's going to happen next. So next, there's going to be a bird of prey. Okay, so next is a bird of prey, and we're going to draw an eagle. So we've got a tertiary consumer. Now we need another word. So the animal which is at the top of the food chain, we call them the apex predator. Now, sometimes your tertiary consumer is at the top of the food chain, in which case they would be the apex predator. But in this particular case, snake is not at the top of the food chain. We're going to have an eagle. Now, remember, this isn't the only food that's eaten by these animals. Food chains are really quite complex webs. Like this frog will not just eat grasshoppers, it's going to eat flies, there's going to be other things that it's going to be eating. So the energy is going to be coming from various places. Again, the snake's going to eat not just frogs, it'll be eating other stuff. But we're just looking at one particular chain in that web. Okay, so we're going to call this the apex predator. Okay, and we're going to have an eagle. So I'm going to have a go at finding an eagle and copying that. I want a nice image of a flying eagle. Okay, that's really difficult to draw. So let's see what I can do. I'm looking forward to seeing your images, guys. So here I'm going to draw an eagle. It's got that bit's white. Then it's going to have these long claws. They're quite scary, aren't they? Because they're so long claws. It's going to pick up that snake and it's going to eat it up. It's really interesting to see how these animals control the food chain. So if we had something happen, if there was a disease and the eagle started to die out, okay, we would have suddenly more snakes. Because there's more snakes, they'd be eating more frogs. The frogs would be eating more of the grasshoppers, and then the whole chain would suffer. So nature has everything fine-tuned to the point where it works perfectly fine until humans like us start to interfere, and we end up killing or damaging part of the food chain because we've either put pesticides in the producers, which the food chain is consuming, or we've added something into the system which is killing off parts of, how do I draw the other wing without destroying the, okay, I'm gonna draw it in pencil first to make sure. If I draw it like that, that looks like it's flying, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put that in pen now. So we end up destroying food chains by the way that we farm, or the way that we build, or the way that we kind of work with nature. So here we've got an eagle, and the eagle's brown. So it's the first animal that isn't actually green in this particular food chain. I'm looking for a different brown than the one that I've used, but I can't seem to find one. So I'm just going to color it in with this brown. So her head's going to be white. And then we're going to do brown over here. And its feet, I'm going to do orange. Color that in. Color this in. And then at 4 o'clock today, we've got our maths camp. So I'm going to be heading over to the maths Facebook group. We've just done the science camp this morning. We're looking at space today. That's going to be nice and exciting. I'm going to have to do a science camp on animals because they're really cool. So let's have a look now at this. So this here, I think I'm going to color in that yellow. I'm going to color in its feet orange. Okay, so this is our apex predator. Now, what happens after the eagle eats the final thing in our food chain? Well, the eagle's going to eventually die. Okay, and when it eventually dies, it's going to decompose, and that's going to form part of the soil and the ground that the grass is produced on. Okay, so it kind of forms a chain. The energy gets passed along the system. Okay, so here we can say it decomposes. So it decomposes, dies, and decomposes. Can't fit that in. So that is our food chain energy flow. It's kind of cool. Now I'm going to add a bit more color in here because there's no red. I want to add some red. And that shows us how a food chain works. So we've got a producer, we've got our primary consumer. So a primary consumer is a herbivore. It will eat things that grow like plants. We've got our secondary consumer, which generally eat another animal. But this is really small animal, isn't it? So they're going to be eating loads of this particular animal. Next, we've got the frog. Secondary consumer is eating that. Next, we've got the snake. So that's a tertiary consumer. We've got producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. The snake will be eating a few of these frogs. And then your apex predator is this one over here. So the energy is going to go towards that. And if you look at each part of the chain, they're eating less and less. So there'll be loads of grasshoppers that will be eaten by this one frog. But there'll probably be 1 or 2 frogs that the snake is going to eat. And if this eagle has 1 snake, it's going to be full. Okay, so sometimes you can draw these as pyramids as well. So you have lots of the grasshoppers at the bottom, you got a bit of the frogs, and you got 1 or 2 snakes, and then you have the eagle at the top. Now I can cut this out. So I've got a nice circle. And I can add this to my collection of science project work that I've done on Learn with Sid. So today was session 26. Take photographs of your work, send them in to me, and I will produce them into a kid submission video. Now, yesterday's video was up late, so I still don't have any submissions from that. So please do send me your decimal point. Is it decimal places? No, what was it yesterday? Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams submissions, because I need some to be able to add to my submissions video. So do send those in. Do send this in as well. This is going to be nice and colorful. You could look at other food chains. If you don't want to look at this particular one, you could research some more. And don't forget to add your name. So I'm going to add here Sid and hashtag Science with Sid. Okay, you could do your own food chains, and you could have your own chain if you want to do something different and use different animals. So I'm looking forward to seeing your amazing artwork and your amazing food chains. So this is showing you the energy flow in this particular food chain and how it's all interconnected. So nature is amazing, but we're going to be moving back to art tomorrow. So stay tuned in for another session tomorrow at 3:30. Hopefully YouTube will be working and I'll be able to do a live session. But do send me in today's sessions and yesterday's Venn diagram if you haven't had a go yet. Okay? And I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye. Bye, guys.